What I love about Eala, the mentality is like Rafa. Never say die. From start to finish, gets the job done, finds a way.
There is a horizontal line on a spreadsheet somewhere inside the United States Tennis Association's operations office, and that line sits at position 32. Everyone above it earns the coveted status of a seeded player at this year's US Open. Everyone below it does not. For the entire 58-year history of the Open era at Flushing Meadows, no Filipino player, man or woman, has ever seen their name sit comfortably above that line. Not once. Until now. This is the story of how Alexandra Eala, in the summer of her 21st year, is poised to become the first Filipino ever seeded at the US Open. Quietly, with 4 to 6 positions of clearance, she stands on the verge of etching her name into a page where none had appeared before. Currently ranked number 32 in the world, her position is projected to climb into the high 20s once Wimbledon points are fully digested by the WTA computer. If it holds through the seeding cutoff in mid-August, a barrier that has remained unbroken for Filipino names since 1968 will simply dissolve. No grand ceremony, no fireworks, just a name where a name has never been. A quiet revolution captured in rows and columns. To truly grasp the weight of that line, you must travel back to where she stood exactly 2 Augusts ago. In August 2024, on those very same hard courts in Queens, a younger Eala battled through the final round of US Open qualifying against Romanian Elena Gabriela Ruse. She fell short, 3-6, 6-1, 6-4, one victory away from her first Grand Slam main draw as a professional. She boarded the flight home from New York with empty hands and no ranking points to show for the grueling trip. The dream felt distant, the path uncertain. Today, just 24 months later, the narrative has flipped dramatically. She is no longer scraping to qualify. She is projected to be seated above the very player who once eliminated her. Yet nothing about this milestone is guaranteed. That uncertainty is the honest heartbeat of the story. The US Open seeding list won't be finalized until roughly 6 weeks before the tournament begins, placing the critical cutoff squarely amid a demanding stretch of events on Eala'S calendar. First comes the Mubadala City DC Open from July 25th to August 2nd, followed immediately by the National Bank Open in Toronto from August 2nd to 13th. Both fields are stacked with elite competition. Washington features dangerous names like Elena Rybakina, Marta Kostyuk, Naomi Osaka, and Venus Williams. Toronto will welcome the full firepower of the top of the women's tour. Clustered within just a few ranking spots of Eala'S sit hungry competitors like Hailey Baptiste, Yelena Ostapenko, and Emma Raducanu, each capable of vaulting forward with one strong week. The honest framing, then, is this: Eala isn't desperately hoping to sneak in. She is holding a tangible lead. But a lead in the WTA rankings is precisely like a lead in a tennis match, real, tangible, yet far from the trophy. She must protect it through focus, execution, and resilience. What makes that protection plausible is her favorable schedule mathematics. Last summer in 2025, she suffered an early exit in Toronto and missed Cincinnati due to a shoulder issue. The points at risk are minimal. The potential gains, however, are enormous. A single quarterfinal, or better, in either event could solidify or even elevate her career high ranking. This is the delicate tension, not a dramatic villain or insurmountable rival, but a narrow window she must navigate without stumbling on the hard courts that have both broken and elevated her. The evidence that fuels belief: no one believes in this projection out of mere sentiment or national pride. The belief rests on cold, compelling evidence that stacks into 3 distinct but interconnected pillars: structural progress, career trajectory, and profound geographic symmetry. The structural foundation is undeniable. Eala entered March 2026 ranked number 32, more than 100 places higher than the same week the previous year. She touched a career high of number 29 after a strong round of 16 showing at Indian Wells. Her clay court swing was admittedly uneven, with early exits in Madrid, a tough loss in Paris to Eala'S, and another in Rome against Elena Rybakina. Yet she never slipped out of the top 50, demonstrating remarkable consistency. By the grass court season, momentum returned forcefully. She captured the Birmingham Open WTA 125 title in early June and reached the semi-finals in Berlin, notching wins over top 10 opponents along the way. Entering Wimbledon as the 29th seed marked another historic first, the first time a Filipino singles player had ever been seeded at any Grand Slam. The US Open projection, therefore, isn't a wild leap of faith. It is the logical continuation of a seeding barrier she had already crossed once on the lawns of London. The trajectory pillar finds its most vivid illustration on center court on July 4th, drawn against defending champion and world number 3 IGA ЩWIOTEK, a 5-time major winner. Eala'S delivered a performance that reverberated across the sport. The first set alone stretched nearly 90 minutes, culminating in a nail-biting tiebreak that Eala'S claimed 11-9. ЩWIOTEK herself later admitted in press that Eala'S slower, spinning serve was deceptively difficult to read. It's much tougher to return a serve like that than a normal serve. The second set was more decisive, lasting just 36 minutes. Final score, 7-6-9, 6-2. Eala'S advanced to the fourth round of a Grand Slam for the first time, the deepest run ever by a Filipino singles player at a major. She ultimately fell in the round of 16 to 13th seed Jasmine Paolini in 3 competitive sets, but the ЩWIOTEK victory transcended the result. When a player ranked inside the top 30 topples a dominant world number 3 on the sport's biggest stage, the ranking ceases to be a ceiling. It becomes a floor, a new baseline from which even greater heights become imaginable. Take a moment here because the third pillar, geography, shifts the narrative from spreadsheets to something far more poetic and human. New York, and specifically the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadows, has served as the central stage for every pivotal chapter in Eala'S professional journey. In September 2022, at age 17, she triumphed in the US Open Girls Singles Final, defeating Lucy Havlikova 6-2, 6-4 to become the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam title. In August 2024, the same grounds deliver Heartbreak in qualifying. In 2025, she broke through to the main draw and stunned 14th seed Clara Tauson in the first round, the first main draw major victory by a Filipino in the Open era. And now, in August 2026, if the ranking holds, she will return as the first seeded Filipino competitor at the US Open. For August's one iconic complex. This is not random coincidence engineered by planners. It is a story organically writing itself onto the hard courts where dreams have been tested, shattered, and reborn. Voices of authority and historical weight, the significance deepens when voiced by those who have lived the pressures of these very courts. Greg Rosetsky, a former US Open singles finalist in 1997, world number 4, and seasoned broadcaster, watched Eala'S Wimbledon heroics from the commentary box. Speaking on BBC Radio 5 Live, he declared with conviction, "This is somebody who's going to win the Wimbledon championship one day and possibly get to the top 5 in the world. She is that good." On his podcast the following day, he elaborated on her tennis IQ, relentless mentality reminiscent of Rafael Nadal, and ability to find ways to win. Pam Shriver, a 22-time Grand Slam doubles champion and US Open finalist herself, echoed the awe on the same broadcast. "I can't believe what I've watched. Really, the first set was extraordinary." When two former US Open finalists, voices with impeccable credentials on these hard courts, project a top 5 future and highlight elite mental attributes, the assessment carries technical authority, not mere hype. Their words validate what fans have sensed. Eala'S possesses not just talent, but the complete package. This milestone carries heavier cultural resonance than raw numbers suggest. In the pre-Open era, Filipino tennis had one standout, Felicissimo Ampon, a diminutive 4 feet 11 inches champion who reached French Open quarterfinals in 1952 and 1953. He was legendary in his time, but operated before modern seeding and the Open era's professional boom in 1968. From 1968 until Wimbledon 2026, no Filipino had been seeded in singles at a major. Eala'S seeding in London cracked the ceiling. A US Open seeding would deliver the second major breach, and on the very grounds where her story has unfolded in chapters. The personal story behind the line moments after her center court victory over ЩWIOTEK. With tears glistening, Eala addressed the crowd. "I'm really emotional. And maybe for someone like IGA who has won so many slams, maybe someone like Serena or Venus, this achievement may seem small, but for someone who grew up in the Philippines, and I went to train with my brother and my grandfather every day after school with my ruffled socks, my high-top shoes, and my chubby cheeks, to me, this is everything." She dedicated the moment to Filipino fans waving flags and to all the little girls with ruffled socks and chubby cheeks. In those words lies the soul of the achievement. Every seed line is ultimately a spreadsheet entry, but this one carries the weight of family sacrifices, dusty local courts in Quezon City, early mornings, and unyielding belief. After the Paulini loss 4-6, 6-4, 3-6, Eala reflected with maturity in the press conference. "I'm happy with how I faced it head-on. I think I kept cool when I needed to control my emotions. Every match that I play, I go in with the self-esteem and the thought that I'm able to win." She returned briefly to Manila for rest and a fan meet at Glorieta Activity Center on July 15th before heading to North America. The next stretch, Washington, Toronto, then potentially New York, will decide the narrative's next verse. A slip would turn this into a tale of how close she came. But current form and protected points suggest otherwise. The broader legacy and what lies ahead. Eala'S ascent transcends individual ranking. It inspires a nation where tennis has long played second fiddle to other sports. Kids on cracked courts now dream bigger. Parents see new pathways. The diaspora feels pride swelling across continents. Her journey embodies perseverance. From junior champion to qualifying heartache, first main draw breakthrough, Wimbledon upset for the ages, and now seeding contention at the US Open. On August 27th, she is slated to appear at the Stars of the Open Fan Week event alongside rising talents like the next generation publicly highlighted by the tournament. She belongs in that room not by invitation alone, but by merit. The ranking, the results, and 4 transformative Augusts on these grounds have converged in agreement. The ruffled socks, the grandfather's guidance, the high-top shoes on humble courts, these are the human threads woven into the spreadsheet line. Whatever unfolds in the coming weeks, Eala has already shifted the horizon for Philippine tennis. The horizontal cutoff at position 32, once an empty barrier above Filipino names for nearly 6 decades, now sits within clear reach. 24 months after flying home defeated from qualifying, she stands on the cusp of walking into the main draw as a seeded pioneer. The sport will remember the line crossed. Fans will cherish the story behind it. As she steps onto the hard courts once more, the world watches a young woman no longer chasing entry, but claiming her rightful place among the best. The seed either locks in or faces challenge. Either way, the momentum she has built promises chapters far beyond this summer. This milestone isn't the destination. It is another beginning, one where a name that once appeared only in qualifying lists now sits poised above the line that history long guarded. In the quiet operations office, that spreadsheet line is about to change forever. And in homes across the Philippines and beyond, hearts will swell with the knowledge that it happened because a girl with ruffled socks refused to stop believing.